Well, morning glory and hallelujah, everybody. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to a brand new month, Big J. Welcome to April 1st, 2025. Happy April Fool's Day to you, Big J.
Is it happy?
I have no reason to be unhappy at this particular point, but it's early, Big J. So
yeah.
Something catastrophic, of course, could happen to me in terms of being pranked that could ruin my day, my life, perhaps. It really does depend on what kind of prank it is, if we're being honest.
Be careful
we have, of course, taken our prankfully pledge. We're not going to give you any kind of pranks on this radio station, at least not on purpose. And so there's that. We could be your one safe respite from the rest of the world that is trying to trick and con you today out of your valuable time and valuable mental space. And so we can assure you that at least for the most part, everything that we're going to say today is going to be something that at least isn't any less factual than any other day. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it makes sense.
Whatever kind of things that we share with you that might be fake is a pure coincidence, or we haven't thought it through enough to make you a part of our conversation, I guess, that's the point. But yeah, we're not going to do any kind of crazy pranks today, and I hope your life is prank free. Whoever's listening to this, because I mean, I guess they can be fun, but mostly they're not. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes perfect sense.
And so that's part of why I don't think we're partaking. It just isn't in our wheelhouse to do that kind of thing. I mean, I guess it is, but we opt not to. How about that?
We like to be different.
Yeah. It feels like everybody's going to try to do something goofy and dumb today. And we're like, we do that every day. Goofy and dumb stuff.
Yeah.
We don't need a day to do that.
No, we don't.
But we're not going to try to some big elaborate kind of shakedown on you today. You have that promise from us.
Don't believe anything you see today, especially now with AI. Oh, man, pranks at an all new level.
Yeah. It used to be pranks had to be done in person to you. Now they're mostly digital pranks, like companies telling you that products and or movies and or sequels are happening that aren't actually happening. And
movie trailers that aren't real.
And this becomes April Fool's Day prank. This has evolved into pranks now. And I guess I understand it, but there seemed to be at least a little bit of physical effort that had to be put in order to qualify it as a prank. But hey, man, some people really live for days like today, and I don't want to, yuck anybody's yum. I'm just saying it's not my style. That's right. But I tell you what, it is my style: bribing you to listen to this radio station with crazy prizes, and we've got tons of them today. Yes, we've got tickets to tonight's Machine Head show. Absolutely. Yes, we got tickets to tomorrow night's Under Oath show. Absolutely. Yes, we got tickets to now the Big J officially sold out Leonard Skinner concert at the Boise Open.
Whoa!
That is on the agenda for today. Don't forget, we also give you an opportunity to qualify for Sonic Temple. We also have an opportunity for you to get in on the fun of Inflation Domination, which of course is $2,025 in cold hard cash. So those are real things that you will have an opportunity to partake in today. Plus, we need your help picking Big J out a movie for Streaming Dumbass, and you're going to hear music. Should be a good show. Let's kick it off with the Foo Fighters. It's Everlong on the X. Well, the 2025 college basketball crown tipped off yesterday. The early game kind of got things started pretty easily and nicely with Butler and Utah kind of tipping off. Utah was favored to win the game, but you know what? Butler ended up hitting the game-winning bucket with 3 seconds left to give the Bulldogs the upset over the highly favored Utes in game number 1. So how would it fare for the Broncos, who were favored by 9 against George Washington? The answer was Blowout City, Big J. In favor of your Boise State Broncos.
Oh, it's great news.
You didn't know? Final score, 89-59. It was close in the first half. Broncos held a 32-26 lead at halftime, but then threw up almost 60 points in the second half and holding George Washington, the Revolutionaries, of course, Big J, to 33 points in the second half. Tyson Dagenhart ended up leading all scorers with 19 points. That's pretty impressive. Congratulations to him. And, of course, we also had a pretty good performance out of Pearson Carmichael and Andrew Meadow, both of them putting up 15 points in the victory for the Broncos. So the Broncos will next face that Butler team that pulled off the upset. They don't have to worry about playing a game again until tomorrow, but 7 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, you will see the Game 2 matchup between Butler and Boise State. This one, I believe, going to be happening around 5 o'clock our time, so you'll be able to check that out. Of course, there's 4 games on the schedule today for day 2 to see the other side of the bracket, who advances. You saw Nebraska win, and I don't know who won the Georgetown-Washington State game because it tipped off around 11 o'clock last night, and they haven't updated the score on their own actual website, so I'm sorry I don't have that information. But I do know it is Butler v. Boise State in round 2 of the Crown. Will you be interested in round 2, Big J, now that the Broncos have picked up their first postseason victory?
I'll be pulling for them.
All right, you called for the George Washington win yesterday. Broncos must have used that as locker
Butler
room
will
material.
be winning this game.
Okay, all right. Big J is hoping the hate will continue, and it will help the Broncos advance to the 3rd round of the college basketball crown and maybe get some cash money coming their way. We will see how that all works out for them. Speaking of basketball and college basketball at that, the next time the NCAA decides to have a Final Four in San Antonio on the men's side of the bracket, you might want to make sure you go chalk. This year's Final Four teams feature all 4 number 1 seeds: Auburn, Duke, Florida, and Houston. That's only happened one other time in NCAA history. The first time that happened was 2008. Big J, where do you think the men's Final Four games took place?
In 2008?
Yes. If you were listening to the first part of the story, it should be an easy answer for you.
Louisiana, baby.
Wrong.
New Orleans.
No. It once again happened in San Antonio, which is why this is interesting, because this is where this year's Final Four is as well.
What a coincidence.
And both times in NCAA history that all 4 number 1s made it to the Final Four happened in San Antonio. Well, again, these games were played outside of San Antonio, so they all had to get to San Antonio in order for this to happen. But it is interesting that that has happened twice in the history of college basketball.
Only twice?
Yep, that's it. Every other time there's been at least a number 2 or higher, lower in the Final Four. That's the second time ever that it's happened where all 4 number 1 seeds.
I wonder what the statistics people have to say about that.
They turn your nose up at you. They won't answer that question. They're scared to. Big J, have you ever partaken in any of the White Lotus seasons?
I have not, no. I know it's very popular.
It is, and it is breaking viewership records. The latest episode drew 4.2 million U.S. viewers. That surpasses the season 2 finale, which was the previous highest ranked White Lotus episode. But then, right away, season episode 307 reached 4.8 million viewers. So somehow this show is getting more popular as it goes on. So I would say that's a straight up hit for HBO's White Lotus. Why? Is there a reason why you're not interested in it?
I don't know anything about it.
I mean, it's got some people in it that you enjoy.
Sure.
You like Walton Goggins, right?
It's drama.
It's a comedy drama. I would say dark comedy drama. It kind of, but again, it's an anthology series, so it's different. The cast from season 1 to season 2 and season 3.
It's like The Love Boat.
Boy, yeah.
The Love Boat.
I guess
it's an island where people are welcome to come, and then weird stuff happens.
No.
Their fantasies get fulfilled.
No, it's then if that's what you think The Love Boat is, it's nothing like The Love Boat.
I would like to do Fantasy Island
because it does change locations every single year, so it's not a mystical island that they go to. But also, one would argue that a lot of dreams don't come true in the White Lotus, and maybe if that's what you think it is, I don't think the White Lotus is for you. Stay away from it.
Gosh darn.
Morning After.
I'm missing out.
With Nick.
No.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice to be able to crack some White Lotus jokes with you, but I'll never be able to do that.
Help yourself.
They'll go right over your head. They'll go right over your head.
That's not unusual.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We're going to need your help picking out a movie for Big J. That's next on the X Rocks.
Of Netflix. It's Streaming Dumbass on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Treasure Valley, Big J needs assistance watching a movie tonight. He wants to watch a film. He, however, is not allowed to pick out that film for himself. He can no longer make that decision. That decision falls in the hands of you, the ex-listener. You need to decide which one of those particular movies would you like him to watch. We're going to give you 3 choices. We are going to strip away, however, the title of the film and the stars, at least for now. You are only going to get the plot description given to us on the streaming platform on which you can find the movie, which means sometimes there's a lot of details, other times there's not. And you've got to decide from those plot descriptions whether or not that's a movie you want Big J to watch. You will decide by texting in movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3. Now, your motives are your own, Maybe you think the movie sounds good. You want Big J to check it out for you and give you a review and see if you want to check it out. Or maybe you just want to torture Big J with a bad movie. I guess that's up to you. Seems cruel, but your decisions are your own. And so far this year, you have opted for the latter, I guess, because Big J hasn't liked the majority of the movies you have chosen for him. But maybe, just maybe, this week we turn things around. So listen for these descriptions and then text in movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Movie number 1. Tom is a passionate brother of his fraternity, and he's charmed by the promises of high social status and alumni connections that could open doors in the future. But once the scheduled hazing of a new fraternity member comes to a disturbing head, Tom faces the decision of a lifetime. Movie number 2. A 19-year-old prodigy arrives in New York with his revolutionary talent destined to change the course of America. Forming the most intimate relationships during his rise to fame, he grows restless with the status quo and makes a controversial choice that reverberates worldwide. Movie number 3. A seasoned agent and a rookie officer find themselves stranded in rural Appalachia. They soon discover a community of criminals led by a local madman who has a connection to the special agent's past. Movie number 1, Don't Haze Me, Bro. Movie number 2, Changing the World. Or movie number 3, Old Friends, New Cases. These are your 3 choices. Which movie do you want Big J to watch? Text in movie number 1, movie number 2, or movie number 3 to 208-287-1003. And the movie that gets the most votes, that's the one Big J will end up watching. We will release the name and titles of all 3 movies, including the one Big J will be tasked to watch. Do any of these sound familiar to you, Big J?
No.
I'll say this, all 3 had a theatrical release.
That doesn't mean anything.
That's for sure. And so go ahead and text away, and we will come back with the exciting conclusion of Streaming Dumbass. That's next on the X Rocks. That's the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Scar Tissue, here on the morning after with Nick and Big J. Big J, have the votes been tabulated for Streaming Dumbass?
They have, and it's a terrible trend.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, we'll continue on, and we'll get to that.
Okay, what's the terrible trend?
It ruins your whole unfolding of the votes.
Why is that?
Well, because, again, 100%, it's like overwhelmingly for the last option. Option number 3.
I haven't been paying attention. Has the third movie been winning like hands down all the time?
Yes.
I know there's been blowouts, but has it always been the last movie?
It's always been the last movie.
Do you think there's a recency bias attached to that?
I mean, it seems like there could be. I mean, there's not a lot like... It's not like you're saving the best one for the third choice.
In fact, in this particular case, I might have been saving the worst one for the third choice.
Yeah, usually that's what happens.
But was there a movie that stuck out to you that you would have picked?
Movie number 1.
Movie number 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what movie got the least amount of votes?
Movie number 1.
Movie number 1 was the indie darling of the 3. It's called The Line. It stars Alex Wolff. You may remember him from Hereditary. And Halle Bailey, who, of course, was Ariel in the Little Mermaid live-action movie, Big J. But that's the story of a hazing gone wrong in a fraternity and then somebody calling it out, and terrible things happen from there on out. It apparently is pretty good, but if you want to watch that, you're going to have to do it on your own time. And it is on Hulu is where you can find the movie The Line. Does that mean that movie number 2 came in second place?
Yes, sir.
And that was the critical darling of the bunch, Big J. That was a movie I guarantee you've heard of called A Complete Unknown. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, it's the Timothy Chalamet.
Close, Chalamet and
Chalamet.
Monica
And
Barbaro talking about Bob Dylan. Yes.
Bob Dylan, yeah.
And that is movie number 2, also now available on Hulu if you want to check it out. So it sounds to me like you're watching movie number 3 overwhelmingly. This is the 4th movie in a series. I think you've seen the first 2, but I don't think you need to see the 3rd one in order to be caught up, because I do believe this is an independent from all of the other ones. You're going to be watching Hellboy the Crooked Man. It stars Jeff Kesey as Hellboy, and Jefferson White from Yellowstone is also featured in this movie. It
not
came
even
out.
David Harbour?
No,
Hellboy?
it's the movie that came out after the David Harbour movie.
There was a movie that came out after that?
It came out last year. It was in theaters for about a week and a half, and it just popped up on Hulu this week. So you will be watching Hellboy the Crooked Man is the movie you'll be watching, and he will report back tomorrow and let us know if Hellboy without Ron Perlman or David Harbour or Guillermo del Toro is any good. And he will let us know tomorrow morning right around this time. So if you guys want to play the home game, The movie is called, which you chose overwhelmingly, audience, so maybe you should have a taste of your own medicine, Hellboy the Crooked Man.
Suckers.
It's on Hulu, and you can see if your review contrasts or compares with Big J's tomorrow around this time. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Important stuff on the way on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic in
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff is brought to you by Last Man Standing. Big J, in mere moments, we are going to get somebody qualified to check out the biggest rock festival in the country. We're talking about Sonic Temple. It's happening May 8th through the 11th, and the X and Axio Auto want to make sure that one X-listener and a guest is checking out the entire thing on us. Over 110 bands, 4 days, and you are in the middle of it for free, so you're going to want to listen all April long, 7:30, 12:30, 5:10 to play Last Man Standing. We got I'll say Sonic Temple flavored trivia question coming your way. Multiple choice with every single one. If you can get it right and know what the Last Man Standing is, boom, you are qualified, and you can join us at our grand prize party at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City on April 28th, where we will give away the prizes. It's going to be fun. Check out xrock.com and keep listening, because around 7:30 or so, we are going to be giving away another slot in that giveaway party. Big J, God, we worry a lot, man.
We do?
The average American worries a lot. The average American spends about 2 hours and 18 minutes every single day wrestling with some sort of anxiety or worry or terrible thought. This is especially true the younger you get. About 62% of Gen Z and millennial respondents say pretty much they're always anxious or worried about something, compared to about 40% of older generations. In fact, young people worry so much that 1 in 10 are actually scheduling what's called worry time into their daily routines. That's where they just kind of sit alone and just ponder their thoughts and existence. What are our biggest worries, Big J? Number 1. Take a guess.
Money.
Yep, with a bullet. Number 2.
Our relationship.
Close. Family,
okay.
Other things. I'll put that in that particular category. Number 3, tasks and to-do lists. Number 4, our health. Number 5, not getting any sleep. And number 6, of course, politics. And, of course, parents, they're really worried about their kids as well. 77% are worried about their children in some way, shape, or form, regardless of how old they are. So that's a problem as well. So it doesn't matter how old you get. Man, we are an anxious and worried society, Big J. And some of us for very good reason, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that none of this is unjustified. I'm just saying, man, it's a lot of time we spend on being anxious and worried and freaked out about stuff. And that's not good. Another reason to prioritize your mental health. Agree or disagree, Big J?
Yes. Keep it together, man.
It's not easy sometimes, and Lord knows it can be overwhelming others. The key is just to do the best you can every single day. And if you do need help, rely on others, lean on other people, get the help that you need. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength, because there's nothing weak about wanting to be better and getting better. And so do what you can to make sure you are in the best mental shape that you can be in. Everybody's going to have a bad day. Everybody's going to have something to worry about. There's no doubt about that. It's just doing what you can to make sure it doesn't overwhelm you, because that will happen easily if you let it. So do the best you can, and you're going to be all right. Big J, you know who Shohei Ohtani is, right?
Yeah, he's that baseball player guy for the Dodgers. Does both sides of the ball, if you will.
Yeah, I don't know if he's pitching much these days, but
recovering from that surgery.
Card of his reached $1 million on an auction for the first time ever. The Topps Dynasty Black card was from a set produced last year to commemorate his historic season. It was autographed in gold pen by Ohtani and includes the MLB logo patch from the pants he wore on September 19th. That's when he became the first player to reach 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in a single major league season. And it went for $1 million at auction. Big J, there's still big money in baseball cards, dude.
$1 million.
These are special ass cards, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not, I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing it's probably some pack was purchased, but like there's packs of baseball cards now that are like $400 a piece for a pack. And all of them include like autographs and things like that, but
or pieces of uniform and stuff. Stuff's pretty cool. Hair, even.
Yeah. I believe vials of DNA are available in some. And so, like, it is crazy to me how much that game has changed, though. Like, I mean, you know, you would get some really cool and valuable cards every once in a while in a box or a bag of like $4 upper decks. Now it costs you, if you want the real big ones, you're gonna have to throw down $500-$600 to try to get them.
And now there's like digital decks where the real ones they're based in reality, Nick, but you can buy them digitally and you can spend tons and tons of money that way as well. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The game has changed when it comes to collecting. That is for sure.
Yeah, I miss the old days of going to a card show. You know,
one's coming up this weekend at Expo Idaho. Big J, go check it out. Maybe you might find.
I'm out of that universe.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
You just said you missed the old days.
Yes.
And now you don't want to go.
Yes, I missed the old days when I was a kid and would go to the card shows.
You missed the old days when you were interested in going to a card show.
Yeah.
Not the current Big J. Not interested.
I got enough to spend on stuff already. I don't need more old stuff.
Speaking of collectibles, Kurt Cobain's Martin D 18E guitar, which the Nirvana frontman used during the band's 1993 MTV Unplugged performance, will be displayed for the first time in Europe at the Royal College of Music in London. The exhibit is going to happen from June 3rd to November 18th. It kind of showcases all of the Kurt Cobain Unplugged performances. So the exhibition will reunite the guitar from the Unplugged performance along with his olive green cardigan that he wore during the set, marking the first time those two items will be displayed together in the same exhibit. In 2020, an Australian entrepreneur bought the Unplugged guitar for more than $6 million. And when he bought it, his intention was for it to be touring worldwide so that people could see it. And so finally it is starting to happen. It's the Royal College of Music. I mean, you have to go a long way to see this exhibition, but it is interesting that these pieces will finally be on display for people to check out. So if you're a music nerd, it might be worth the trip.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I don't know. Did you ever go to that music museum that's in Seattle? Like the pop culture. It's now called the Pop Culture Museum, but for a while it was all about like, you know,
music experience.
Yeah, the music experience, which was, you know, to Jimi Hendrix and all the grunge movement and everything that happened in Seattle.
Yeah, the guitar.
It's really cool.
Statue thing is super awesome.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of really cool exhibits there. So if you like this kind of music or the Seattle sound or grunge in particular, that's kind of a cool place. Now, of course, none of the items are there.
Let me guess if you do like that stuff you're listening to.
Right. I'm just saying maybe it'd be a cool trip for you to take.
Yeah, do
if
it.
You like the combined world. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. Guess what? We got a chance for you to qualify for that Sonic Temple trip. We're going to play Last Man Standing next on the X.
Number 2 to Sonic Temple, presented by Axio Auto.
AxioAuto.com.
On 100.3, The X rocks.
Yeah, let's. It's a pretty big event, man. Sonic Temple is taking over the world on May 8th through the 11th, and we would like you to go there. On us. We will pay for your airfare. We will take care of your hotel room. We'll give you 4-day passes to the festival, which is the largest in the country. All you have to do is get yourself qualified by getting on the phone right now, 208-287-1003, and answering a multiple choice question correctly, all about Sonic Temple. If you do, you'll get an exclusive invite to our big giveaway party. It's happening April the 28th. That's a Monday, friends, at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City. We're going to take over that place and give away some really cool prizes, including the grand prize, which is our trip for 2 to Sonic Temple. So if you want in on the action and you want to go, 208-287-1003 right now. Big J will throw up a question in your area, give you multiple choices, and if you're correct, you are qualified. Big J, are you ready?
Yeah, man.
Then let's get ourselves a contestant. What do you say?
Okay.
All right, don't be scared. Here we go. Hello, the X.
Hello,
Hi, who's this?
this is Denise.
All right, you're up first. Best of luck. Here comes Big J with your question.
What city in Ohio is Sonic Temple located in? Cleveland, Cincinnati, or Columbus?
Columbus.
Columbus is 100% correct.
Well done. You are officially qualified. It is that easy. Congratulations. Hang on 1 second. We will get all your information and make sure you have everything that you need to join us on April 28th at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City. And it's that easy to get qualified. Some more questions coming your way, all of them multiple choice, so you have a puncher's chance with each one. Next one's happening at 12:30 today with Jason Drew. Then at 5:10 this afternoon with Adam, you have another opportunity to get in on the action. And, of course, this is happening all April long. So best of luck to everybody as we get people qualified for some Sonic Temple fun by playing Last Man Standing. Morning After with Nick and Big J. You ready to go to hell, Big J?
Oh, yeah, always.
We're going to do that next on the X Rocks.
Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3, The X rocks.
Time for a We're Going to Hell International, Big J.
International.
Because I do believe that this story probably wouldn't hold water in the United States of America, but it's important to know that other countries have different legal systems than we do here in the United States, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
So today's story takes place in Kazakhstan, and it kind of began in December of 2004. There was a 23-year-old dude that was driving his mom to the hospital in Kazakhstan's capital when the car in front of them stopped for no apparent reason and blocked the entire lane. Now, that happened to be the only car lane on that particular street, so the only solution he could think of was to bypass the stalled car through the bus lane on the right, or simply wait for the car to go wherever it was going. But his mom needed to go to the hospital. You know, I mean, like, you have to make some
kind of emergency
decisions, right? So he chose the first option, and his maneuver was picked up by surveillance cameras, which they have there monitoring the streets in Kazakhstan. And so he received a ticket in the mail. So the young motorist tried contesting the ticket and explaining the situation, but his complaint was rejected. So the other course of action was to go to court and fight it there, right? And that's where the other part of the story comes in. The gentleman could not afford representation for himself in the court of law, and he didn't have any experience, and he didn't want to be, part of it. So he set up ChatGPT to help him answer some legal questions that maybe he didn't have any help with, because he didn't really know the subtleties of court, or what he could object to or what he couldn't object to. So he turned to ChatGPT for legal assistance. He typed the situation into ChatGPT and mentioned there was video evidence of his maneuver on the National Traffic Authority website. The AI tool advised him to challenge the ticket in court and even helped him fill out the paperwork needed to file for his case. So he posted a bunch of videos on TikTok. That's where we're getting this story from. The traffic authority were initially very rude. They rejected the complaint outright, claiming that his decision to pay the fine was essentially an admission of guilt.
Yeah.
But as many other countries, paying the fine in a certain period of time carries a 50% discount. So if one plans to contest the fine in court, they end up paying only half usually anyway. So he's like, well, let's just do this. So he filed this case in court. He was contacted by the authority to settle the case. He said no. He went to court instead. During the 10-minute hearing where he was asked multiple questions by the judge, the gentleman turned on the speech synthesis function to have ChatGPT print out the answers to the questions the judge was asking, and he would then repeat them in the court of law. After arguing the way that ChatGPT told him to argue the case, the judge agreed with him and canceled the fine outright.
Wow.
So ChatGPT is now 1-0 in courtroom situations.
In Kazakhstan.
In Kazakhstan, that is correct. And so he was able to answer the questions, and now the young motorist who claims to only have challenged the traffic violation out of principle because he knew he was right, ChatGPT says the next step is to file a civil lawsuit against the police, demanding compensation for the time he wasted contesting the fine. And so he is going to do that and use
cut your losses, bro.
ChatGPT as his lawyer in this situation, which now, out of sheer principle and also because the president was set, he can probably have ChatGPT help represent him in this civil case as well. So I don't think you could get away with having ChatGPT on in an American courtroom, but I don't know.
Well, I think it would be difficult because, at some point it's going to reference precedences and cases, history, and that sort of thing. And that's the stuff that you need to make sure is correct.
Sure.
So,
also, I think contesting a moving violation ticket is much different than like a capital offense kind of a thing.
Right. Or even a civil lawsuit, if you ask me.
Right. So I don't know how this all will play out. Don't know what's going to happen, but we do know if you choose ChatGPT to represent you in a court of law, at least for now, it appears to be 1-0. That's the winning record, Big J. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X-Rocks.
Nick and Big J.
Big J, retirement has ceased to be a thing with some of our generation. It's becoming more and more difficult for us as we enter our golden years to think, hey, at some point there might be an end to my working life. You understand?
Yeah.
And so there is something now that is taking a little foothold called micro retirements. Have you ever heard of this thing?
No.
Now, it started up in 2007, and basically it describes taking kind of a career pause before retirement age. And this can come at any particular point, but usually it's in your 40s or 50s, where you kind of take a sabbatical from working and you develop a hobby or you complete training on other parts of your life that you kind of wanted to get done to attempt to further your career and try a different aspect of it. While sabbaticals are usually sponsored by the workplaces themselves, more and more people are terminating their employment in order to take this time off. Unfortunately, micro-retirement isn't the same as regular retirement, so it comes with risks like, that can impact your future earnings. There's no guarantee that when you decide, I'm done with this personal growth, a company is going to want to hire you because you've got a gap in your resume, all these kind of things, and then you're tapping into your personal savings to get day-to-day expenses. So you still have to have some sort of nest egg in order to do this, but I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to better yourself or better your career. It's just kind of a risk, and with no retirement in sight, I guess if you can afford to take a break and you're dissatisfied with the job that you're currently at and want to find a different or better one, that might be a good way to do it, micro-retirement. But, again, it sounds like you're going to have a little bit of cash to make that happen, Big J.
Yeah, no kidding.
We need a stash of money to make you micro-retire. So whether it's retirement or micro-retirement, there's going to be some money on your end involved that you're going to have to tap into. Just know this. Big J, you know who the new coach of the New York Jets is, right?
Yes, Aaron Glenn.
That's correct, the former player. And he is trying to deliver some success to the team after years of failure and drama. And so he has kind of gone on the record and said that, listen, he's hoping that his team flies under the radar a little bit with this particular offseason and is pretty quiet and kind of keeping their eye on their own paper, because the last couple of years it's been a lot of hype and a lot of drama surrounding the team, and he kind of wants to avoid a big hoopla. Of course, the team also made some pretty noisy moves when they recently offered buyouts to 170 of the 250 employees of the New York Jets. Basically, they're trying to get most of the current employees out of the building. They feel like the atmosphere there and the kind of work ethic isn't very good, and they want to change over most of the people that currently work at the Jets. Now, of course, there could be part of it is, recently they had the NFL Players Association and Employees Report Card, and that's where the Jets got an F. So everybody was kind of like, it sucks to work here. Everything about
place.
Woody Johnson's a terrible place and terrible human. I don't want to be here. It's bad. And so Woody Johnson recently has said that he thinks that F is totally bogus. But when he asked about how bogus it was when he's trying to get rid of the people that didn't think it was nice to work there, he said, I don't want any more hoopla either. And he walked out. So I guess hoopla is the word of the day. Yeah, that's what Aaron Glenn said. He didn't want any hoopla. And now Woody Johnson said he doesn't want any more hoopla. So it's a strange word to be throwing around in multiple occasions. I don't know if it's up on like a whiteboard somewhere or something. But hoopla apparently is
done with the hoopla.
the word of the week for the New York Jets. But yeah, that team's got some problems, McJay. Agree or disagree?
Yeah. Woody Johnson.
Do they currently have a quarterback on the roster? Did they sign somebody in the offseason that I can't remember who it was?
No idea, man.
So I don't know if they are. Obviously, they'll probably be looking to draft somebody. Big J, what is Zack Snyder up to? Well, he has signed on to direct a movie called Brawler. That's about a Los Angeles man's rise in the UFC. Do you care to watch a UFC movie, Big J?
I don't know. I still haven't watched the remake of Roadhouse. I would call that a UFC movie.
You would? I mean, he's a former UFC guy.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play a big role.
And you've got a UFC fighter in the movie.
Well, he used to be a UFC fighter.
Well, either way.
But Snyder will co-write and produce the film. Of course, Dana White is also involved with producing. White says the project will show fans what it takes to become a UFC champion. Now, why are you not watching Roadhouse? Is there a reason?
No.
Okay. Just not gotten around to it.
Yeah.
It's not very good, but you
That's
should
part of the.
enjoy it on your own time if you want.
If I didn't watch a questionable movie every week, I wouldn't mind fitting in another one.
Well, I mean, sometimes you enjoy the movies that you watch.
Yeah, but it's a crapshoot.
Sure. That's the name of the game, baby.
Yeah.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got your Pop Culture Smackdown happening next on the X Rocks.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
And a mega morning after prize package. I mean, it's a little crazy. Let's start off with the stuff that's happening soon. Tonight at the Rev Center, you have a great show. We're going to hook you up with tickets to Machine Head and some great openers there. Ingrown, a band from here, Idaho, Darkness Everywhere. So you'll get tickets to that. Tomorrow is Under Oath at the Rev Center. As Fire Falls, Reverie opening up for them, and Under Oath coming in for a noon X session, Nick. Whoever wins will get to come to that as well. But there's more. Happening in August is the Albertsons Boise Open. You will receive a pair of tickets to that and the sold-out Leonard Skinner concert, which is happening after the day's events. You'll get all of this when you beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown.
208-287-1003 for this gigantic prize package. Should be easy today. Big J usually takes it personally when I rank and run out of questions the day before. Follows it up with the almost impossible question. So we'll see what ends up happening today. Best of luck to everybody involved, including you, Big J. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
Hello, the X.
Hey,
What's up, man? What's your name?
Tim.
All right, Tim, you're up first. Good luck.
Michael Fassbender, former guest of the Morning After, has a really big role in the X-Men world. What is it? Is he Professor X, Magneto, or Wolverine?
Professor X.
Wow, that's a big whiff, dude.
Sorry, Tim. Obviously, you're not a golfer. Hello, the X.
Has a really big Good morning.
Hey, buddy. Here comes Big J with your question.
Michael Fassbender.
All right.
Michael Fassbender, former guest of the Morning After, has a really big role in the X-Men world. What is it? Professor X, Magneto, or Wolverine?
Professor X.
Wow.
Wrong. Now, always and forever. Now, listen, man. The X-Men universe may have fallen off a little bit. We'll see.
I don't know. It's still popular culture.
I would agree, but he is not going to be in the Avengers version of it. So there's that too. Hello, the
you
X.
still never know.
Hey.
Hey, man. Here comes Big J with a question for you.
Michael Fassbender, former guest of the Morning After, has a really big role in the X-Men world. What is it? Professor X, Magneto, or Wolverine?
That would be Magneto.
Magneto's correct. Nick Fassbender has followed in the footsteps of the great Steve McQueen by taking part in what sporting event?
Racing?
Okay. What race?
Oh, you need a particular race?
Yes.
Wait, you just had sport, right?
Sporting event. I said event.
Oh, okay. I don't know. The F1 series. I don't know.
No. Wrong. Nick, Steve McQueen, famous for taking part in the 24 Hours Le Mans.
Oh, is
yes,
it?
Yes.
I was right on my thinking.
Yeah, you got it too?
Good job, my man. I told you. All you're going to need is one today, and you were right. Hang on 1 second, dude. We'll hook you up with that whole prize package coming your way. From everything to Leonard Skinner sold out tickets to Under Oath to Machine Head. Going to be a good time. Hang on 1 second, dude. We'll hook you up with that prize package.
Yeah, Fassbender did a whole movie about it.
What was it called?
Michael Fassbender, 24 Hours in Le Mans.
Huh. Morning After.
That's not the title of it. I didn't have that answer with me at the very moment.
You just knew there was a movie about it?
Yes, I looked it up,
Did
but
you
I
see
didn't
it?
write it down.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Headlines are next on the X Rocks.
Person for knowing this. It's Headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Headlines are as follows. She's single. I did it. And gotcha.
She's single.
California woman named Channel Tapper holds the record for female with the longest tongue, Big J, and she has used her mouth muscle to hold silverware and even play Jenga, my friend.
Take that, Gene Simmons.
Tapper's tongue measures 3.8 inches from the tip to her lips when she sticks it out. The best reaction she could ever get when someone sees her tongue, she says, is just screaming. She does like it when people scream or yell in shock or horror sometimes. It's even landed her an advertising campaign for the fashion brand Diesel. Big J, what do they do?
Diesel?
Yeah.
I mean, for a while they had like colognes and stuff like that in shirts. I don't know though now.
I think long tongue has to do it.
I don't know.
Anything? Or just
I don't
like
think so.
maybe it's something that they wanted to be associated with, I guess. I did it or gotcha.
Gotcha.
Police in India have finally collared a serial thief who up until now had repeatedly evaded capture by using a skunk-like method of warding off police, Big J. The 27-year-old man from Delhi is accused of multiple phone thefts. Each time police pursued him, he would deliberately just crap his pants right there in public, which actually proved to be an effective defense mechanism because after he crapped himself, officers didn't want to go near him. Code Brown, over. But following his most recent offense, cops were prepared. They had masks and gloves. They were good to go. They pursued him as expected. He deployed his familiar dirty bomb, but in this time, cops kept after him and finally placed him under arrest with his pants full of crap, Big J. How does it feel?
Dirty pooper.
I mean, there's only so many times you can play that card, I think, before they're like, we know your deal now.
I think I love how they prepare themselves.
They're like, this guy is going to strike again, and we need to have gloves and masks so that we don't get ourselves all dirty with this guy's poop.
And if we accidentally get it in his face, oh well. That's what you get. Oh, looks like you pooped on your own face. Oops.
You think there'd be a scenario that could happen?
Yes.
Got it. Wrap it up with I Did It. Texas man Jeremiah Maglon had called the police for help during the middle of an alleged robbery. Maglon allegedly cut himself on some glass while breaking into a Patterson Dodge dealership in Tyler, Texas on March 26th. The police say that he called them around 3:35 in the morning because he was unable to leave the way he came in. He said he'd broken into the dealership in an attempt to steal the car, but was unable to get out of the building. He apparently cut himself really bad, had to be treated at a local hospital, and then, of course, was sent to jail. A staff member at the dealership said the only thing missing was some candy from a salesperson's desk, probably because he was cut so bad he didn't able to execute his plan. So, a reminder, I mean, it helps when you rat on yourself, but I don't know, man. Maybe a better entranceway is a good idea. Maybe not stealing a car at all from a dealership is
steal.
Wonderful, wonderful path that you should take and think about. Morning After with Nick and Big J. You're up to date on everything. There's your headlines. Inflation domination, your opportunity to win yourself some serious money. We're talking about $2,025 today, courtesy of Dollar Loan Center. The Advocates Injury Attorneys, and of course the X, all coming up on the X Rocks. And man, here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Of course, today is April Fool's Day. It is April 1st, so that means there's a lot of things out there that can make Big J angry today, and there is one particular topic that really makes him mad.
Well, what makes me mad about this is, like, and we've briefly talked about this even earlier, all the fake stuff out there that you're going to see. Thanks to AI now, it's even easier to get fooled and you forget what day it is. But this is something that happens on an occurring basis, Nick. It doesn't matter if it's April Fool's. We're talking fake movie trailers, and I hate it because I'll see people I know post these, and it's clear, and I know it's not a real trailer because I know this movie's not even been confirmed to be even happening. And you see it, and I'm like, I won't watch it because I don't want that fake excitement thing. And then, you know, who knows what you're going to see. But I'm like, hey, I usually send a message to that person. That's not even happening. Stop it. Now, Deadline, who has called this out in the industry, because the big movie studios, Nick, they're calling it akin to a mob-like shakedown, where YouTube is a place where these AI fake trailers have lived for many, many years and have flourished, Nick. Fan-serviced ones, people who've made them, but also some, I don't know, questionable people have made them. And the thing that makes it unique is that, let's say you were to make this using footage from a movie, then the movie studios would then have the opportunity to strike that down, and YouTube would not be able to monetize it. So your channel would not be able to monetize that, right?
For copyright infringement.
For copyright infringement. But the part that is important that you have to understand is that in order for that to take place, you would say, make your trailer, make your content, put it up, and then somebody would have to complain about it, right? And then the movie studio would, we need to strike that down and go through this. We have been through this process before in the music industry with our YouTube page. Very frustrating, especially when we have like the permissions and things. It's crazy to me. But what was happening is these YouTube fake trailers were getting hundreds of millions of views, billions of views, Nick. They were making a lot of money, and the movie studios were totally okay with it because the money was going straight to them. And so Deadline had started reporting on this, probably like a year ago. And it's at that point that YouTube was like, oh, hey, that's kind of curious. They decided to demonetize most of those accounts so that no longer would they be the movie studios be making money from that?
How are they making money from other people creating fake trailers?
Instead of copyright infringing them, they were getting the money was getting routed to them.
How?
Because they own the rights. Because they own the rights to that material. So instead of infringement, much like in our current model of basically what's happening is like whenever somebody watches our YouTube page and watches our videos, Nick, of our performances from bands that come in here, we do not get the money from those views. The music company does. So that's what was going on. And YouTube, it was kind of like a loophole that the movie studios were encouraging. Let's put it that way. They have closed that loop down, and no longer can you do that. But it really flies in the face of a lot of the content creators out there who try to make some cool stuff, but get it shot down routinely and can't post that stuff because of those considerations and laws.
Yeah, I thought it was like an indirect way of making money. Like they would watch like the fake trailer for Step Brothers 2, and that would make them want to go out and rent or purchase Step Brothers. And so the movie studios were making money.
Sure, you can do that way as well.
But it was more direct actual payment from YouTube. Interesting. Well,
from that channel. I mean,
yeah.
Billions of views. That's millions upon millions of dollars.
So then the channel doesn't get anything for that, right?
No.
Well, then why would they continue to do it?
No, I mean, because they want to continue to create their art or whatever.
I see.
But at the same time, and then probably in some, they weren't doing this necessarily for money, but that doesn't mean that the studios were creating accounts and doing this on their own right, using their own AI stuff.
Yeah, probably. Everything sucks, man.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why I'm sure they're everywhere, and probably, well, while they continue to cut it down, I'm sure there some will slip through the cracks, and there will still be some additional ones out there that will still drive you just as crazy as it did yesterday.
Well, that's not going to stop the AI trailers from occurring.
Right.
It just closes the money loophole for the studios, so they'll be less encouraged to do that dirty stuff.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Your bad impressions come your way next on the X Rocks.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, nice morning after prize here for you because tomorrow Under Oath is going to be hitting the Rev Center. Let's see, we've got Reverie opening up as Fire Falls as well, and Under Oath coming in for an awesome X session. We love these guys. They're going to put on a great performance, a couple songs, get in some questions, and you will get to be a part of that whole thing. It's pretty cool. You just need to figure out bad impressions here this morning.
Our phone number is 208-287-1003. If you like these Under Oath tickets and X Session passes, all you have to do is figure out who Big J is trying to impersonate. Could be a famous person. Is that what it is today?
Yes. Well, it's a famous band.
Okay. Then a famous band. If you can figure out who the band is, then boom, you are going to get these tickets. Of course, you got 3 clues. Get it in 3 or less, and you're good to go. Big J, are you ready?
I'm ready.
And to the phones we go. Good morning, the X.
Good morning.
Hi, who's this?
This is Jeremy.
All right, Jeremy, you're up first. Good luck, man.
In
All right,
the, in the 60s, we created a mania that many have tried to replicate.
All right, next one.
By the way, it's a band. Our singer was assassinated by Mark David Chapman.
Next.
I mean, all right. John, Paul, Ringo, and George make up our band from the
Beatles.
There you go.
Nailed it, Jeremy. Good job.
Glad the last one.
Hang on one
Went over the
second.
edge for
Well,
you.
to be fair, he only sang half the song. But hang on one second. We will make sure that you are set to go for Under Oath tomorrow. Good job, Jeremy. Why are the Beatles in the news?
Big things are happening in April of 2028, Nick. Sony has confirmed the cast for its 4 Beatles movies. There are going to be 4 of them. Sam Mendes, very famous director, going to be directing all 4 of these movies. And we have the full cast now, Nick. Paul Mescal will play Paul McCartney. Joseph Quinn will play George Harrison. Barry Keoghan will play Ringo Starr. And Harris Dickinson will play John Lennon. And they're going to do something very interesting with the release of these movies. They're going to film them all in one year. And then on April 2028, they're all going to come out. And, quote, Mr. Mendez says it will be the first bingeable movie-going experience.
I'm not sure what that means, but I guess it means like one every week. Or you can see them all at the same time.
Yeah, I
one
think
after
that you
another.
could see them all 4 of them in the theater together.
Is it going to be like an Avengers, though? Like you have each one individually, and then is there going to be a Beatles movie that encapsulates their career as one? Or
That would be 5 movies.
I understand what the number. I'm just
So-
saying, I don't know.
I'm not sure either what's going to go down on that, but I'm sure we'll get more details as this thing comes out. But I'm not the Beatles fan here. You are. So what's your take on all this?
I am a Beatles fan. I like Sam Mendes. I could not care less about any of these movies, to be perfectly
Why?
honest. I think because I have either OD'd on or saw so much of all of the Beatles kind of upbringing on my own that I'm okay. I don't need to see a fictionalized version of each one of their stories. I mean, I guess mostly because Paul and John and even George, for the lesser extent, I mean, they're so interchangeable because they meet each other at boarding school when they're like 12 years old. That once they hit 12, it's all them all the time. I mean, they're doing gigs together, they're writing songs together. So, like, that's their whole story. I mean, granted, they go different ways as they get older and they form the band, and maybe it covers all those kind of things. But, like, I've seen enough fictionalized versions of Beatles stuff that I don't know if I need a definitive one. I think I'm okay. Now, listen, maybe I see a trailer and I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. I'd want to see that because I do like Sam Mendes, but I'm pretty lukewarm on all 4 of these movies, to be perfectly honest.
Wow. Okay.
But hey, I'm sure they'll do just fine without me. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your bad impressions. We'll wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks.
If your teen is having trouble with a...
It's the latest from the funeral portrait. That is Holy Water, wrapping up the Morning After with Nick and Big J on this Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys overwhelmingly chose the movie Hellboy, the Crooked Man for Big J to watch tonight on streaming. Dumbass, he doesn't sound like he's excited about it. I don't know why. You're not a Hellboy fan?
Yeah, Ron Perlman.
Yeah, but you don't even know this movie exists. You can't really
I know.
That's
give
it a hard
how bad
time.
it's got to be. Never even approached the radar.
Well, here's what I do know. The creator of Hellboy, the comic book, is involved with this and feels like it's a more direct representation of the character itself.
All right.
So maybe you might get something that surprises you. Who knows? But you will find out later on this evening and report back tomorrow on that. If you want to play the home game, it's available on Hulu for you to stream as well. We also gave away a ton of prizes over the course of the show today and talked about how possibly ChatGPT could represent you in court one day. But, Big J, that does leave you with the floor, sir.
Yeah, hey, this isn't the first time a band, a male-fronted band has released makeup, Nick. But Ice Nine Kills frontman Spencer Charnas has launched Pretty Evil, a sinister new brand that redefines high-performance personal care and cosmetics for those who live for the limelight. It looks pretty cool, but I mean, a lot of this is makeup for probably Halloween, but at the same time, it looks like it's nice enough to buy in a Sephora.
Is it a full line?
It's everything.
Okay.
It's
All right.
everything.
Well, listen, man. I mean, why not? If it's officially endorsed by your favorite rock star, give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
So, is it available now?
It's available now.
Or is this an April Fool's Day thing?
Oh, God, it could be.
Dude, we tell you 4 times a day.
I know, but this is in
for-
legitimate news sources, so it's hard to say. It might be and it might not be. I think it's probably real.
All right, but you never know.
But you never know.
You never know.
I'll tell you what, he gets an award for all the work that went into this then because it's well done.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your April Fool's Day show. That's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. It's the X Rocks.
When the hot